whoever who couldn't make it, then we will just send the recording. I will send the recording, and if you still can't see the slides, then you just view the recording lah. Okay, so what we need now is 20 members, which is excluding you guys, to basically fully establish the club. So this one, we will be doing it once we meet AKPK. So this will be your first task lah, which is to recruit members. So then, okay, so this is the organizational structure. So basically, the president, Ashbina. So basically, your job is to establish the vision, mission, and guiding values of the club, as well as the establish the student organization structure with the advisor. So we will need to develop the actual annual action plan to see what we can plan for the year. So basically from August this year to September 2021. So we'll need to come up with a rough plan or an annual action plan of what we can organize and key signature events for us to keep as record lah.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, so basically a signature event will be the event that would signify your club. So for instance, let's say for example, maybe your signature event can be a financial management conference. And basically this will need more than 100 participants, right? So a signature event would mean that part of a signature event is to have more than 200 or 250 participants. So that would be a signature event. So this will be something that we will need to brainstorm to include in the annual action plan when the time comes lah. So Jack, Vice President, would be to guide all project managers on the process of the management and to be the main liaison for the advisor for all events, including proposal, logistics arrangements, and infrastructure of the event. Secretary, which is the most important person, which is Limni.
Hi.
Hi, Limni. So you will be in charge of the e-filing system, which is also in this manual. So please also take the time. So this one, I will basically go through this very briefly with you all. So I want you guys to take the time, maybe after your exams or what, to basically just go through it lah. So if you have any questions, so you can refer to me. If you don't understand anything from this manual. So going back to Limni, your job would be to, you will have to be the mother of the e-filing. So basically all the annual action plan, the reports, financial reports, everything will be handed to you for you to file it and to keep it in the Google Drive that I mentioned just now.
Okay.
Treasurer, also you just go through it. So for publicity, promotions, and marketing, we've decided to combine both because it's better to merge lah. So basically, publicity and promotions, you will be overseeing the brand, and also you'll be in charge of the materials to promote, and also like maybe for events. As well as, you know, workshops or anything. So basically you will need to vet through like posters to see whether all the right logos are there, the right information, the right shine points. For marketing, you will need to basically maintain and keep an update of all your sponsors or your partners of potential partners. So you will need to seek out for potential partners as well to work with you guys when it comes to organizing events or activities for the club. For members development, you guys will be basically looking at training your EXCOs and BODs as well as your members at least once every quarter. So, and also you will need to look into executing and planning one CSI event for the student organization. So maybe you can also work with the club, the CSI club, to come up with a CSI activity lah for your club. So for Public relations also, you will need to make sure that the communication and engagement, as well as you have to ensure that if there's an event, upcoming event, you will need to make sure that it's blasted out on the right platforms, and to make sure that they get maximum reach to the community of tailors. So basically, as I mentioned just now, you'll be getting a Google Drive, the e-filing system. So that's where you upload any documents or reports, any forms, or any sort of all the documents that are needed to keep. So basically, when it comes to audit, or whenever we need to refer to some things for your club, we will just go through the Google Drive, and we would get all the documents that are needed lah. So Limni, you have to make sure that the Google Drive is always up to date with all the documents when you need to when needed lah, necessary. Okay, so basically in the Google Drive, you will need to have your profile, your annual member record, meeting minutes, financial record, and whatever projects or proposals that you have should be parked in this drive. So when it comes to transitioning also, so basically, so like I said, all the documents should be parked here. This is our one-stop center for all our documents. So when it comes to having a meeting, so you will need to have a meeting agenda, which has to be done 3 working days before the meeting is held. So in the agenda, so the agenda will look something like this. Basically, the area of focus and also what will be discussed during the meeting. Next, after the meeting, you will need to come up with the meeting minutes. This will be, so basically when you do your meeting minutes, you have to include the what, why, where, how, when, and who. And all the meeting minutes needs to be done within 7 days of the meeting. So this is what roughly the meeting minutes will look like. So you can refer to this also if you have trouble coming up with the meeting minutes lah. Any questions so far?
No, miss.
Okay. Right. So this is your annual membership record. So basically, this is where you keep the name of your members, and you got to keep updating it lah. So the template can be downloaded from the Google Drive. I will show you what the Google Drive looks like slightly later lah. So the next step that we need to do is coming up with an official student organization email. So basically, we will need to come up with a club email, which will basically ease communication with members or potential members, as well as external parties or potential sponsors in the future. So we have an email etiquette. So basically, all emails must be responded within 2 working days from the date the email is received. We will also have our own Facebook page and also Instagram to promote whatever activities, and to also show the community that you guys are active, and to basically show that, hey, this is our club and this is what we're doing lah. Because without social media, we won't know, the students or the community wouldn't know what's going on with the club. So basically, for publicity materials, we'll be using posters. So when coming up with a poster, you will need to use the Taylor's logo. So there'll be a few logos that you will need to use, but we will get to that in a bit. But this one, you will need to so when using a logo, you will need to use the right one. You can't change the colors and the logos. You can't change the color of the logo, and you have to use the logo as it is lah. So this is basically the logos that you need to use when coming up with a poster. So the first one is Taylor's logo. The second one, which will be our C logo instead of the Center for Future Learning logo, your club logo, and also the Shine Points logo. So basically, you will have to make sure that the logo is all not pixelated and it's not distorted, and you have to make sure that it's all the same size and it's all aligned correctly lah. So this is an example of a poster and how it should look like with the logos.
Miss,
Yes.
sorry, just to confirm again, so the logo instead of Center for Future Learning will be SEAL, is
Seal,
it?
yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Miss.
No problem. Right, this one through. Okay, so there will be a form for you guys to actually to submit the posters, because these posters will then be submitted to the events team, and then they will display the posters around campus. So this will be the form. I will be the one to submit the forms, and the posters will be exhibited for a maximum of 2 weeks before the date of your event. So for the treasurer, you will need to come up with an annual financial budget, but this will come after you come up with your annual action plan. So once you know what activities you want to roughly plan or organize, that's when your financial budget would come in. So you will need to ensure that the logo, title of the report, the budget, and reporting period, student organization name, projected income, expenses. So everything has to be there. This is a rough projection of how annual financial budget should look like.
Got it, Miss.
Sorry? Oh, okay.
Understood. Yeah.
Thank you. Right. So basically, Shani, you will need to also come up with a quarterly financial report, which means every 3 months you will need to come up with a report to gauge the status of the income and to also keep track of the expenditure of your club against the actual annual financial budget. So then you will know whether you are overspending or not lah.
All right.
So this will be the sample. So then once that is all done, you will come up with the annual financial report. That is to match the total income and expenditure against the previous year expenses. So that means this will also determine if you have any profit or loss made throughout the year. And also with that, you can also plan the annual financial budget for the following year as well. And from there, you will also know how to properly plan your finances from the previous year lah. Sorry. So yeah, this is what it would look like. So this one we will slowly go through lah, when we will cross the bridge when it comes when we get there lah. So then when it comes to projects, we will need to have this will also be in the annual action plan. This is what this is what the annual action plan would look like lah. So you will actually have to see you will actually need to start with a month, and you need to see what kind of activities you envision organizing in which month. So basically we start in August. So August will start, so let's say maybe August is ECNS, and then maybe in January you will have a financial management workshop, and then in July it will be the transition plan for the new board once you've served your 1 year. Any questions so far?
So far, good, Miss. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when planning an event, you will need to come up with a proposal, right? So I'm sure most of you already know how to come up with a proposal with experience in your clubs as well. So so you will need to submit your proposal 1 month before the event of the 1 month before the date of the event. And you have to ensure the necessary information that's to be put in the proposal, as in the why, the what, how you're going to execute the event, and where. And you have to also make sure, the most important one is, who is your target audience. You can also submit it via email, which is always the best. And when it's approved, the advisor will sign it. And if it's not, they will reject it, and you will need to either redo your proposal, or you will need to maybe come up with another event that would suit your club. So when coming up with a project, you will need to have a project goal as well. So the best way to come up with the goals is to use the SMART goals criteria. So you got to be specific. It's got to be measurable. The results have to be measurable. The results has to be attainable, relevant, and also the time frame of the project has to be established clearly to create like a sense of urgency. So meaning like when you have a task, or when you're coming up with a project, it's best to have a Gantt chart. So to keep track of your progress, and to also know whether y'all are basically y'all have enough time, or y'all are on track with your progress of the event. So you also need to come up with a project budget as well, which is totally different than your club's budget. So but this budget will also be part of the annual financial budget. Sorry. So the same thing, just like being in a club, you will need to have your core team in a project. So basically project manager, secretary, treasurer, marketing. So this one would be good for you guys to open it to your members, to take up leadership roles, and to also, this would also be a great chance for you guys to see who has the potential to take over the club by giving them positions to take up in projects. So this is what a Gantt chart would look like. So this one you guys can just go through lah. So pre-event, post-event, what needs to be done, post-briefing, and also evaluation report as well once you guys are done with the event. So the example also can be here. It'll be here for you guys to go through it. The financial statement also is very important, and it has to be submitted 2 weeks after the event. Right, sponsorship guidelines. So basically, each club would get an automatic funding. So the sponsorship guideline can be it will be in your Google Drive. So once that is done, we will go through it together as well. So the club is also encouraged to look out for sponsorship from external organizations as well. And so in the proposal, you will need to have the overview of your club and the scope. So basically, our target is to basically, I'm going to assume that AKPK would be our sponsor, but we can also look for other sponsors as well if we are going to go, if we're going to have our own independent events. And if let's say you guys will be traveling for any workshops or any trainings that maybe AKPK would be organizing, so we will need to come up with a traveling info sheet when you guys use the transport that is provided by tailors. So you will need to include the names of the people that are going, as well as the indemnity form um, of whoever who is going to be traveling with you. So So basically, when you guys go on a trip, or before you go on a trip, there will be a pre-departure briefing by your advisors to ensure that all of you are aware of your safety, and also to make sure that all the documents are all completed before you go for your trip or workshop that requires you to use your that requires. I'm so sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Whatever that's required of you to go on this to basically travel. Okay, so basically for you guys to get your certificate that you've held a position in the club, you will need to um, join the team building. I mean, this year we didn't have a team building, so I hoping maybe next year we would have one. Um, so it is a must for the club to actually join the team building, and you will need to join at least 2 out of 3 CNS day. And also you will need to maintain, so you basically need to build a very strong brand for your club in order to um, stay strong, in order to be relevant in the club, in tailors. And also you will need to ensure that all the documentation of the club and timelines are submitted with and all the submissions are basically done within the timeline. So all position holders, you will need to at least attend a minimum of 2 workshops organized by SEAL or any internal or external providers. And you will need to attend at least 2 events organized internally by other student organizations or schools or faculty or department. You will need to also attend 1 workshop or conference or any competition organized by an external provider which is outside of tailors. So you will need to also fulfill your roles and responsibilities as stated in the manual. And also to show, and also now that you've taken up positions, you will need to also showcase your leadership skills, and you will need to step out of your comfort zone and do your best throughout your leadership term. So once you're done with your term, there will be a transition plan. So you need to plan, you will need to start seeing through workshops or through projects, you will then already know who has the potential to take over the club. And once that is done, you will then have to come up with a transition plan, which will have to be smooth and successful. So there will be a handover checklist in the Google Drive, and also the transition and to transition the roles and responsibilities to the new board. And the best time would do is 1 month before you officially, before they officially take over lah. So once this is done, when you have the time, please also go through it again and read through it thoroughly, so that if you have anything, you can ask me regarding the manual. Any questions?
Miss, I have a question regarding, you mentioned automatic funding. How much is that, Miss?
Okay, so the automatic funding, when you have a normal, so basically we have 2 types. It's 400 ringgit for signature event and 100 ringgit for a normal event. So let's say, for instance, let's say you guys plan a small workshop for like maybe a welcome party lah. Okay, for instance, welcome party, you spend on food and maybe goodie bags or stuff like
Sorry.
that.
Hello,
Oh,
everybody. Miss Nabi here. Sorry, yeah. Nabi, why don't you just go straight to the club tier?
oh yeah.
It's just there, yeah.
Okay. Eh, isn't it the grant?
Yes, sorry, it's the grant. Sorry.
But the grant is
Wait, sorry, it's the tier first and then the grant. The tier first.
okay. So basically automatic funding, you will need to submit a few things before you are eligible to get the automatic funding. So we will need to see your club activity level, we will need to see your club size, we will need to see how many active members you have, based on the membership list, as well as your meetings and events that you have held. So we will also need to see like the participation of your club. We will need to see how the EXCO BODs have the we will need to see how active you guys are when it comes to attending events from by seal, as well as how you guys organize your events as well. You will also so basically this is all point system. So with this point system you will get your fundings, and so once you've collected the points, and you will see lah, so if you get more than 120 points, you will be eligible for 1,000 ringgit. If it's more than is 75 and below is 600, 40 points and below is 300 ringgit. So this will also, so this is the measures that you have to take before you apply. So this one will all be in the Google Drive as well for you guys to see. And yeah, so basically through that you can apply for the grant. So we also have a grant award. So so tier 2 meaning it's more than, sorry, what? Tier 2 is 75 points and above. So if you want to have a signature event, you can actually apply for this grant. And so there will be a timeline where you will need to submit the proposal for your grant. And if it's an internal event, it will be up to 1,000 ringgit. And external, you can get up to 3,000 ringgit. And this one, it depends if you basically maybe represent the university for a competition or for an international competition, or that requires you to go out overseas, then you, depending on budget as well, you'll probably be eligible for 10,000 ringgit. So the next submission would be for November 15th, which is for events that are happening next year, which is from 1st of January to 30th of June. So we also have a grant application form. So from there you can apply for your grant, and then we will review. So we will review it from there lah. So you can click here to apply, and yeah. So that's basically our funding.
Okay, thanks, Miss.
Okay. So next is when you have, so why we have our signature events is because we want you guys to do what it takes to build your brand, and also because we have our awards, our Student Development Recognition Ceremony Award, where we basically see how you guys perform for the year, and you guys will have to go through it, have to apply and basically submit a few things to be part of this award and recognition ceremony, or basically to get this award lah. So we have best club, we have best club event, we have best collaboration. So basically we also see that we also take into very heavy consideration that, you know, you guys should collaborate with other clubs as well. So we have best collaboration, publicity campaign, and best newcomer. So basically maybe you guys can target for getting the best newcomer club and most progressive club, and also innovation award. So what happens is that you can nominate your club first, and then we will go through, then after that you will go through the application, then we will shortlist, then we will go through a panel review, then we go to a presentation, and then it comes to votings. Basically clubs will be given the chance to vote for the clubs that have been nominated for the state awards. Then usually our student development recognition ceremony happens in October or November every year. So that's when everybody comes together and we would see performances, we have makan-makan, and that's when we would also give out the awards and also the certificates, the recognition certificate for all the student leaders, and also for those who have taken up, all the members who have taken up positions when organizing a project. Are we clear? Or do we have any questions? Also, yes, so for those who are eligible to apply is those who have more than 75 points with this this tier system. So you will need to ensure that you have all of this sorted before you apply for your award.
So Miss will have to do how to say, like a submission regarding our points, is it?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so we also have the event management communication pack. So basically we've already gone through most of it in the manual already. So I'm just going to go through the venue booking. So to book a venue, okay. Oh no. So basically these are some of the venues that you can book via Campus Central when we go back to campus lah, of course. And basically we also have, SEAL has been provided a few venues as well. So maybe when you guys want to have meetings after 6 p.m. for your club, or maybe a welcome party, or maybe meet workshops or anything. So basically we've been given a few LTs and classrooms for you guys to use, and you don't actually have to go through the booking, the usual booking way to book your classrooms. So you can actually just go to this compact and you can just click here and you can straight away book your slots if it's available. So the venues that are available for us, under us, from 6 p.m. onwards is D401, D402, D403, 18, 19, LT7, 8, 10, 11, and 20, as well as the student leaders room and the SLC. So to pre-book lecture theatres or any facilities, you will need to write an email to Campus Central, and you will need to indicate why. So if, let's say, for instance, these venues are unavailable for your meetings, you will need to send an email to Campus Central, and you will need to state why you need the venue. If let's say this venues are not available, you will say that you should mention that the venues that have been allocated to SEAL are already fully booked, and also you may also send it to Campus Central if you want to use the venue before 6 p.m. You will also need to CC your advisor, and it's always best to send your booking email 1 week before the date of your event or meeting, because the standard time for Campus Central to respond is 3 working days. So what they'll do is you send an email to Campus Central, they will then forward the email to the venue owner, which is SFTT and events, Lakeside Event Resources, and then they will revert back to you. So to book your venue also, or when you want to send your email to Campus Central, you will also need to attach the proposal, the approved proposal of your meeting or event before you submit the email to Campus Central. So you can use this format, just copy paste this, and you can already send your email. So if you want to book the Student Life Center, you will need to send your email to Ms. Tasha 2 weeks or 1 month before you want to use the venue. And also do make sure that all the emails have your advisor CC'd lah. So when having an event and you want to use the facilities or you want to use the logistics of the campus, you will need to submit the logistics request support form. So for instance, if you want to have a booth in SLC, you will need to basically go to this form. You will just go through it lah. And so you will need to request for like how many chairs, how many tables you want, for how many booths, and you will need to submit this request 7 working days before your event date. So to make it easier for them also, you will need to attach the floor plan to show how many tables and where you want them to basically arrange the tables and how you want them to arrange it. So you also need to make sure that whatever equipment that you all are bringing in, you will need to also include their voltage and how much electricity it requires to use the certain equipment lah. And yeah, okay, so when you are bringing, let's say, food vendors in for maybe you want to raise funds for your clubs, and you are looking at calling vendors to come in and sell food. So you will need to ensure that those who are selling food, they will need to get their typhoid certification. So here it says typhoid certification, right? So this is how you will need to compile everything. Typhoid certification. For food, they will also need food handling certification as well to make sure that they are legit lah. So you need to ensure that food handlers must wear gloves at all times to practice hygiene, to basically have good hygiene as well. So like this lah, they will need to cover the tables with plastic so that it doesn't get dirty, and make sure that the place is clean at all times. And for cooking, only induction cookers are allowed. No stove or gas is allowed. A lot of students have made this mistake, and it really it doesn't give a good impression to the vendors. I mean, basically it doesn't give a good impression to us, because we would have to tell them to leave because they didn't follow our SOP, and they would eventually say that, oh, the students didn't even tell us that we are not allowed to bring stove or gas. So always make sure that they use induction cookers only. So when it comes to this, you will also need to, like the table of summary above just now. So you will need to put a picture of the equipment that the vendors are bringing in, including the M's. It's always the best way is to just take a picture of the box of the equipment that they are bringing in. So it'll be easier, because a lot of them usually would tweak or give a different sort of amp. I don't know why, but I mean it has happened before. So I want you guys to be vigilant about this when it comes to all this lah. But we will cross the bridge when we get there lah. So when we are bringing in, for instance, if you're having a signature event, you want to have sound and light, and you have a vendor you can bring in to set up this the sound and lighting and tents and whatnot. So you will need to submit the permit to work form. So the permit to work form has to include all of this: the name of the contractor who's coming in, the details of the contract workers. So basically, even with food also, whoever who is coming in, if they are foreigners, you will need to make sure they have a valid front page of their passport copy and work permit, as well as for the typhoid jabs as well. For Malaysians, you just need to write down their IC number. Then so in the last page of the permit to work form, you will need to get, so in order for them to come in, you will need to get the signatures of this this certain parties. And to do that, you will need to submit the permit to work form 7 working days before your event. So just same is all the same with your venue booking as well. Posters we've already discussed just now, right, in the manual. So if you want to promote your event, you can nominate your event on the Shine portal. We also have a new Shine portal now. So in the future, when you guys want to promote your events, you will have to do it on both the portals, both old and new portals. So this is what your signage would look like. And also this is where we'll put the posters. So for the posters, it's best to display it on the lifts from block A to block E. Minimum posters per submission is 6 posters. And for banners, you can actually put it here or outside at the entrance near the fountain. So to submit your posters or whatever that you need to display for your event, you will need to submit it minimum 2 months before your event, and then they will to see whether the logos and everything are all okay. And then once it's submitted, like I said, it will be exhibited 2 weeks before your event. And then the materials all will be removed by the events team 3 days after the event has been done. So these are all the advisors. For SEAL, we have Miss Vidya, we have Miss Navi, which is me, Mr. Ruben, Miss Lavinia, who is also here, and Mr. Dorian. We have Miss Tasha and Miss Pratusha, who is in Shine, and Miss Pratusha, who is publicity and promotion, who is in charge of publicity and promotions. We also have our sports team, which is Mr. Alvin, Mr. Arvin, and Mr. Jaffney. Do we have any questions?
All good, Miss.
Okay. Lavi, did I miss out on anything so far?
Yeah, the Shine info part, is it sufficient? This part, yeah. This is just on the portal nomination, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe if I could just go through a very simple overview about Shine. So can I just check how many of you are actually March 2020 intake students onwards? All of y'all, one person raise their hand. Okay, 2. The rest? Hello.
My intake is August 2019, Miss.
August 2019. Okay. Are y'all okay, so for the August 2019 intake, y'all have done your U2 and U3 modules, right?
Yeah. I've only done U2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is actually basically for the March 2020 intake students. So I just want to let you guys know that the new Shine currently is actually applicable for all. That means you don't have to register for Shine, and uh, you automatically are part of the Shine Award program, because the first level of point accumulation is actually through your academic achievements, which is through your PLO score and your weighted CGPA. Please tell me if whatever I'm talking about right now sounds very alien. Is it? Have you guys been briefed by your schools on anything pertaining to this, or like PLO score and things like that? For the
Mm, for
much
me,
important.
not really, miss. Even for
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I won't go too in detail about that, but all I want you guys to know is basically for the March, actually for both of you guys for 2019, the program was voluntary, meaning you have to register to sign up for the program, and by holding positions, you actually already get like 200 shine points or so. um, and likewise with other opportunities that you participate in, you will accumulate points. So what this does is that it basically, when you graduate at the end of the year, you will actually get like you get your academic transcript, right? So it'll give you a list of all the subjects you take and your grades and so forth. The Shine program will give you a non-academic transcript. So we call it a second transcript, where it will list down all the activities that you've participated in. And you don't have to take like so many certs and go to your employer in future and say that, oh, I was active in this, I was active in this, I was active in this. This list literally will just be all that you need to take for them to know that you had an active co-curriculum um, life, I suppose. Yeah. So actually, it's eligible for the older students and the newer students. But the older students, I think the registration would have been closed already, because we closed it in May this year. But for the newer students, you automatically are in the Shine program, so it'll be good if you benefit from it. So what I want to say is that if you need more information on how to accumulate your points, you are definitely going to be accumulating points through the position that you're currently holding. But as you go and organize more events, you recruit more members, you participate in, say, going to an NGO and going to a community and giving them a financial awareness workshop. You're also already accumulating points through these activities. So I just want to make sure that you know that these are the avenues that you can accumulate points so that you can get a Shine Award. And for the 2020 intake students, you will actually get a graduate attainment transcript. Yeah. So all of this actually may not be particularly valuable for you now, but in the future, when you are looking for a job, it will be something that will set you apart from the rest. Because everybody has a degree these days, but not everybody has the skills and the knowledge and abilities that you will develop through these various activities that you pursue throughout your uni life. So if you actually need more information, or you want to talk about your journey, on how you can actually get the Shine Award, and get a really, really comprehensive transcript that details out your journey, you can speak to us, and we'll be happy to have like a one-on-one consultation with you as well lah. Okay, so I just wanted to put it out there for your consideration lah.
Thank you,
Yep,
miss.
that's it from me.
Thank you, Ravi. So if that is it, I guess we're done. Do y'all have any questions y'all want to clarify or ask anything?
Not at the moment, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what you'll probably have questions when you start doing stuff and
Mm.
submitting your proposals and all. Just approach any one of us if you have any questions lah.
Okay, so basically, so we were supposed to have the chill out session yesterday, but we were thinking of doing it next week, which is, I guess, which is better. Lavi, do you want to join the chill out session as well? So basically, so what we want to do is, sorry, Lavi. So basically, why we're going to have this chill out session is because we want you guys to break the ice and get to know each other better, and maybe we can play a few games, or I don't know what would you guys like to do to break the ice between one another? Okay, yeah, we can play a few games lah. So I'll try to think of something. So our aim is to meet AKPK by next week. So we will do it before that lah. So is Wednesday okay for you guys?
Miss, when will we be meeting AKPK?
Hopefully by next Friday lah. So I'm gonna try to arrange the meeting next Friday. I will discuss
okay,
with Miss
Miss.
Lavi. Then yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point we didn't want to say anything yet until we've done the induction and all that, and so that what is in store for you, or what is the way forward lah. So after this, we will let them know that we've already established a committee, but they are in the process of recruiting members. And this may be done between like now up to like August to September lah. So what we will do is we'll try to find a common time, because we don't know whether they are occupied or not. But we'll try to find a common time in either next week or the week after next lah, for them to meet with you guys, because I have a feeling that they may also have direction for you. For instance, AKPK is not just about like getting financial counseling and so forth. It's also on financial awareness. So they already have like a lot of online workshops where, depending on the age group, the students or whoever that's in the age group can actually view and participate in it. So maybe they may want to start doing those things first, especially for the new students that come in August. Yeah, so we'll probably let them talk to you guys. We'll also probably ask them for an agenda, but also maybe what you guys can do in that meeting is to come prepared with some of the activities that you may want to also introduce to the students lah, so that it's a two-way thing. You don't have to feel like you're only doing whatever they ask you to do, but they will definitely be very, very hands-on in leading and guiding you guys lah. Yeah. You'll be meeting them online, I suppose. Yes. Yep, that's it from me.
Thank you, Lavi. Okay, so if we have no more questions, or if we are done, then we can wrap up. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time for this. Welcome on board. Welcome to the squad. I look forward to working with you guys. And yeah, we will start off with the chill out session next week. I'm not sure about Wednesday because oh no. Or okay, so like this lah, since it's exam week, right? Do y'all want to just do it after y'all meet AKPK, which is better?
I'm okay with after, Miss. Yeah, because I'm not sure if anyone else is having exam. I think everyone else.
Yeah, I think everyone is having. Lavi, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys focus on your exam first. For some reason, I can't reply on the chat. I don't know why. Yeah, I think focus on your exam first, but maybe you can just suggest 1 or 2 dates. I don't know when your exams will be over, but I'm guessing somewhere around first or second week of August, right?
Yes,
Or
mine
July.
Mine ends on 1st August, but I think overall exams end on the 5th.
The 5th.
Yeah.
So maybe what we can do is target after the 5th to meet AKPK and also to do your hangout session lah, so that everybody doesn't have to feel very
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so,
that will give AKPK some time also to plan their schedule as well.
Okay, so Lavi, we will push it to after the 5th lah.
Yeah, we push it after the 5th, right?
Okay, let me just write that down.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
that's great.
guys.
Okay, guys, thank you so
All of
much.
y'all.
All the very best for your exams. Then we will move forward lah from then once everybody is done with their exams.
Okay, can't wait.
Okay, guys.
In the meantime, maybe you guys can put out a plan on how you want to recruit students for the August intake lah. Maybe you guys can start working on on that first.
Okay, all right.
Alright.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Miss
Thank
Nawi.
you so
Thanks, Miss
much.
Lavi. Thank you, everyone.
Miss Lab.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Miss. Bye.